today's topic is basically annealing. Annealing of cold work metal. Cold working means what? Basically, we are doing plastic deformation on a metal below recrystallization temperature. Recrystallization temperature means that is a temperature basically 0.3 to 0.4 TM. Melting TM is the melting point, the melting temperature. Basically, if you are doing cold working, suppose you are working on a metal at a temperature of suppose 400 degrees centigrade, and the metal is the alloy is steel, for example. So it is cold working, you can say. Right? Similarly, so this is a diagram which will show you. These are the rollers. This is the roller. This is the supporting roller. This is supporting roller, right? So this is suppose a steel, for example. This is a steel ingot which you are inserting through this rollers. So this will pass away through the roller. So what will happen? Obviously, this is the initial thickness, and when you pass through the roller, the thickness will reduce, right? There is a reduction in the thickness, and you are doing at a low temperature, below the recrystallization temperature. I am writing below recrystallization temperature. That means below 0.4 to 0.5 TM. So what will happen? See, these are the equiaxial. But if you roll it, they will become elongated. Elongated means they will orientate themselves in this direction. So this is a rolling direction. So this will become like this. You understand now? These grains will become like this. So I will roll. So this is the situation. You can see these are equiaxial. Now these are the grains. These are called elongated grains. They have been elongated or they have been oriented in rolling direction. So this property of this one and property of this one will be different. Why? Because they have random orientations, but they have a preferred orientations. So this preferred orientation is called texture in technical term. Texture means grain have oriented in a particular direction. If they are oriented in random direction, that is called equiaxial basically. So property of this one will be different from this one. This one you will get isotropic property. Isotropic property means property will remain same everywhere. Because see, if you consider a single grain, suppose I will consider this grain, the property will be anisotropic. Anisotropic means the property will be changing. If you move in x direction, if you move in y direction, if you move in z direction, the property will be different. If I am considering a single grain, but you can consider I have multiple grains and all have different orientations. So that will get nullified and your property will be isotropic, right? But similarly, but here the situation is different. The situation here is this will give you anisotropic. Why? Because they are oriented in a preferred directions. Right? If I will measure the property in this direction and in this direction and in this direction, the property will be different. Right?
Yes, sir.
But if you measure the property in this direction, all grain have same property basically, because they are oriented in this direction. Anyways, so when we are doing cold working, basically we are introducing lot of dislocations into the materials, or I can say the dislocation density is increasing in the materials. So what happens now after this? Okay, fine. So after this situation, suppose you are deforming the metal or alloy to a large extent. That means we are introducing lot of dislocations. So it will become strain hardening. That is called strain hardening. Or strain hardening. Strain hardening due to increasing number of dislocation. So now further deformation will be difficult, right? You want to deform it further, but deformation will be difficult. Why? Because of the strain hardening effect. So there is a solution to the problem. We can do what? We can do annealing. After this cold working, the process is called annealing. I am writing here. Annealing of cold work metal or alloy. So what is exactly annealing? In annealing process we do what? We have to take this metal or alloy, deform metal or alloy to a high temperature. We will rise the temperature slowly. from low temperature to a high temperature, right? And some phenomenon will happen inside the materials which will again brings ductility into the materials. Strain hardening means the strength is increasing but ductility is decreasing. I can write like this. So after this one we have this situation. Ductility, right? That means ductility is decreasing but this strength is increasing due to cold working. But now we will do annealing, that will be reverse. Again your ductility will increase, strength will decrease, so that you can easily deform it further, right? So what I can do, I can show you stages here. I am writing here. So first stage is called recovery. Recovery stage. So first stage of annealing is called recovery. So what is exactly recovery? Recovery means what? As I told, upon plastic deformation, we are introducing lot of dislocations, right? So in the recovery stage, this dislocation amount will get reduced, or in technical terms we call annihilation of dislocation. Dislocation will get annihilated. Annihilated means they will get disappear. All the dislocation will not disappear. Few dislocation will disappear in this case. So some ductility will come into the picture now. Strength will reduce somewhat. So I can draw a structure better. Suppose I am taking a structure like this. Suppose I am taking a single crystal. I have a polycrystal. I am taking an example of single crystal only. So what will happen? The situation is like this. You understand? What are these dislocations? You understand? T inverted T like this. This will be there. Randomly they will be present. That means we have lot of dislocations, you can see in material. This is the initial situation, for example. This is your crystal having lot of dislocations. Now you are hitting the sample slowly in the annealing process. So first is the recovery stage. I told you what will happen. Annihilation of dislocation will happen. Some dislocation will get disappear. So now you can see we have two types of dislocation here: inverted T and T, or you can say positive dislocation, negative dislocations. Right? So we understand that if we have same dislocations, same sign dislocations, right? They come closer, they will get attract towards each other and they will get disappear. But if we have opposite sign dislocation, they will repel. They do not come closer or they will not get annihilated. So similar sign dislocation will get disappear due to coming closer. You understand? Because dislocation is half plane of atom. If suppose this is a half plane of atom and you have another half plane of atom here, they are coming closer, so they will finally become a single plane now. So where is dislocation? Dislocation get disappear, right? Similarly, opposite sign dislocation always come closer and they will annihilate. Annihilate means it will become a single atomic plane now. There is no extra half plane of atomic plane. Same situation will happen here. You can see these dislocation are same sign, they do not come closer. So you can see this one and this one. Right? Similarly, otherwise I can give an example of this one and this one. Just have a look. This dislocation, this is this and this is this. They will come close. Finally, they will get annihilated. It will be not there now. Similarly, just check this one and this one. This is moving in this direction. This is moving in this direction. They come closer, and these two dislocations will get annihilated. Right? Disappear. Similarly, this will happen for these two. This will get disappear. This two can get disappear. You can see opposite signs. These two dislocation can disappear, and further these two dislocation can disappear. These two dislocation can disappear. This is happening. This will happening during recovery stage. And what about same sign dislocations? Opposite sign dislocation is getting disappeared, get annihilated. So same sign dislocation will do what? They will try to arrange in a particular fashion, one below another or one above another. See, this is the condition. Same sign dislocations. Suppose now a dislocation is like this. I am erasing all these things. Finally, what will happen? Situation will become this. Suppose Is okay? More dislocation and point. Right? You can see same sign dislocation, they have arranged one below another or one above another. So due to this thing only, why they are arranging actually? Because if they will arrange like this, the strain in the crystal will be minimum, less. So that means same sign dislocation will arrange like this, and this kind of phenomenon is called polygonization. Right? So same sign, opposite sign dislocation get disappear, same sign dislocations arrange themselves according to this. So crystal have minimum energy right now. So this will actually leads to the formation of subgrains. So you can see initially we have a single grain, but due to this it will become like this actually. See, this is one part. You are getting my point now? Due to this arrangement only. That means these are dislocation have arranged here. Dislocation have arranged here. So it is forming small grains. Initially it was single grain. Due to arrangement of this, it becomes small grains. These are called subgrains actually. Fine, it is okay for this. So recovery stage, you people have understood. Obviously, what will happen? Strength will decrease, ductility will increase, but not so much because still we have lot of dislocation now. So further temperature is rising, right? What will happen? Next will be, if you look, I will start from here. The situation will be like this. Suppose your situation is like this, as I told. It is okay? I have considered a single grain from here. Suppose this one here, right? So from here, what will happen? I am writing here. This is called recrystallization. Recrystallization means, that means when temperature is low, this is happening. Temperature is slowly rising inside the furnace. Then a time will come, recrystallization will occur. Recrystallization means there is a temperature. Basically, we take half of the melting point, or just below that. When the temperature reaches to that point, new strain-free crystals will form in this one. These are deformed crystals or deformed grain. From this deformed grain, new equax grain will form, or they will nucleate. Where they will nucleate? They can nucleate along the grain boundary high energy region, or they can nucleate where dislocations are present, because they will provide the energy. Okay? So you can understand what will happen. These things will happen. You understand my point? These are which kind of grain again? These are equax. You people have understood now? New equax grain have formed now. I have shown everywhere. So you can see initial grain have converted to very small grains, and these are strain free actually. Strain free means a lot of dislocation will also get removed out. They will get disappear slowly due to formation of these strain free grains. These are new grains which are strain free, which are free from lot of dislocations. Now dislocation amount will reduce further to a large extent. What will happen further? But we are rising the temperature. Temperature is going up. In this direction, the temperature is increasing. Temperature is increasing in this direction. So, after formation of strain-free crystals or strain-free grain, temperature is increasing, right? So, what happens? There is a particular temperature when this grain will start becoming bigger. They will become coarser. This individual small grain will become bigger. So, this is the situation. It is okay now? Now you can see this structure and this structure. Again become same. Right? And suppose it has few number of dislocations, it also has a few number of dislocations. Again, if you want to deform further, you can deform it easily. Dislocation is very less, and grain are also coarser. Right? So this stage is called grain growth. Grain growth stage. This is the recrystallization stage. Now again you can pass through the ruler, pass through the rolls, and it will become again deformed. You can do that, continue. So that means annealing process consists of three stages: recovery stage, where dislocation will get annihilated. All the dislocation will not annihilated. Same sign dislocations, a few dislocation will get annihilated. Then when temperature is high, recrystallization will occur. In the recrystallization case, new strain-free grains will form from the deformed grain. Then finally, when temperature is very high, this new strain-free grain will grow into bigger size. Right? So our property will get our property. So I can write like this. I have written here ductility is decreasing, strength is increasing. So here for this one I can write ductility will increase and strength will be minimum. This is the situation. Suppose I want to draw a plot. Suppose I want to draw a plot. Suppose I want to draw a plot between like this. I want to show it. Suppose this is the temperature direction. That means I am increasing the temperature from this point to this point. And I have divided this one into 3 parts. Suppose here. This is, I can say recovery. Recovery stage. This is from here to here. I am writing recrystallization. Then finally, from here to here, I am writing from here to here growth. So grain growth. Here I want to show you the ductility and the strength, how they are changing. Right? So I told, if first take this cold work metal, suppose that means the strength will be high. So what will happen? The strength will reduce like this. Sorry. It will start from here to here. You can see the strength is decreasing, but it will go to a minimum value. So here, and finally it will become like this. Fine. For example, then what about ductility? Ductility will start from here, minimum ductility after cold work. So it will become, it will increase. Somewhat increase, not so high. So like this, and finally, so this is the situation. Can you stop this?